Right, good morning, grade 11s. We're going to be looking at the topic of marketing, which falls under business operations, and this will be examined in a paper 1. So remember, from 2020, you're writing 2 papers, so marketing falls under paper 1. So what are you going to be asked in terms of marketing? Well, firstly, you'll need to define it, give a brief role of marketing in the business, explain certain marketing activities or auxiliary activities like storage, transport, financing, standardization and grading, as well as risk-bearing and buying and selling. And many of these activities, you're going to have to be able to identify them from scenarios that are given to you. So remember, what I'm doing today is just a quick overview of everything that you are going to be assessed on in marketing. So we're all familiar with the 4 P's of marketing: price, product, place, and promotion. Within the grade 11 syllabus, we are going to dig deeper into each of these policies. So when we look at the product policy, we're going to look at the different types of products that consumers want. So we're going to categorize these goods. Then we're going to look at the steps involved in designing a product. Following that, we're going to be able to classify different types of packaging that is used. And you'll also need to be able to identify these in case studies given. Following from packaging, we're going to look at the importance of trademarks, why they benefit businesses, why businesses should take trademarks, and really what the meaning of a trademark is. Right, so next we move on to the pricing policy. And when we look at the pricing policy, we want to understand the meaning of pricing and the significance or importance of pricing your product so that consumers are willing to pay that price. We also then are going to have to be able to mention, define, and explain the different pricing techniques. Now, there are 9 of them. You're going to have psychological pricing, bait pricing, but we'll go into more details when we look at all those 9 pricing techniques. Then we're going to look at what are the factors that influence pricing and what should you be aware of when you're trying to price your product. Right, thirdly, we're going to look at the distribution policy, or as you may have learned previously, the place, right? And we're going to look at what are the channels of distributing it. Are we using direct channels or indirect channels? We're also going to look at the role that the intermediary plays within distributing goods from manufacturer right through to the consumer. You're going to have to be able to draw your own channel of distribution to explain a scenario that's been given to you. And involved in all of these different intermediaries, we're also going to look at the role that the wholesaler plays in getting the product to the consumer. Right, the last policy we're going to look at is the communication policy, or you may remember it as the promotion policy. Now, within the communication mix, we have 4 different components, and these 4 components are sales promotion, advertising, personal selling, as well as publicity. Now, with each of these 4, you will need to be able to discuss their role, why they are important. You'll need to identify why businesses use particular components in order to promote their products. Right, then we move on to the informal sector. This is a new small sector that's been added into this curriculum. And basically what we need to do here is define the informal sector and explain the advantages of using a kind of indirect distribution channel for this informal sector. We then move on to the electronic marketing. We look at the different types of examples that exist, how they impact businesses, and we compare this to how an informal sector would use electronic marketing. Lastly, look at foreign marketing. We look at the restrictions or the regulations that's put on foreign marketing, and these are things such as tariffs, export subsidies, and protection policies, not projection policies. And in a nutshell, that really is what the marketing topic is all about. So now we're going to have to go into detail with each one of these.